Welcome to Informed Tourist, where we dig beneath the surface of global travel and culture to uncover the stories that shape our world. I'm Curtis, your traveling guru, and I'm here to guide you through the complex, fascinating, and sometimes uncomfortable realities that travelers and locals alike encounter. Have you noticed how racism looks different in every country? It's not always obvious, and it rarely wears the same face twice. Sometimes it's loud and in your face, other times it's subtle, woven into daily life. In America, it's one thing. In Japan or Brazil, it's something else entirely. Racism isn't just a single simple evil. It's a chameleon, adapting to local cultures and histories. It can be as blatant as segregation or as hidden as a social hierarchy. Today, we're going on a world tour to unmask this shape-shifting force. Our mission: track how the idea of judging people by ancestry or skin color has infected every corner of the globe in unique ways. We'll see how prejudice can be both universal and deeply local. Why does it show up as a caste system in India, anti-immigrant sentiment in Europe, or indigenous struggles in Australia? Each society has its own history, its own wounds, and its own way of justifying exclusion. There's a method to this madness. Understanding these different flavors of racism helps us see the bigger picture and fight it more effectively. When we recognize the patterns, we can start to break them. From South Africa's apartheid to Japan's Burakumin, each version reveals something crucial about its society. These stories aren't just about the past, they're about how people live, love, and struggle today. We'll explore how it all started, how it looks today, and end with a powerful solution that's worked in places like Rwanda and Northern Ireland. These places show us that change is possible, even after the darkest chapters. This isn't about who has it worse, it's about decoding the blueprint. By understanding the roots and branches of racism, we can start to imagine a world where it no longer thrives. Ready to see how deep this rabbit hole goes? Buckle up. Our world tour of prejudice, protest, and progress starts now. Let's dive in, and together, let's learn how to build a more just and connected world. How did racism become a global system? It was designed for power and profit. European colonialism used racism to justify conquering and exploiting people worldwide, creating a hierarchy with Europeans at the top. In South Africa, apartheid legally separated lives. In the US, slavery and Jim Crow enforced racial order. In Australia, indigenous people were erased from the law. Japan's Burakumin faced discrimination based on occupation, not race, while India's caste system created a rigid social hierarchy. The blueprint: create a hierarchy, justify it with prejudice, and control resources. Have you seen echoes of this system in your own community? Fast forward to today, racism is less obvious but just as destructive. In France, secularism laws target Muslim girls wearing hijabs, excluding them from public life. Brazil claims racial democracy, but Afro-Brazilians face systemic barriers and police violence. In China, Uyghur Muslims endure mass detention and cultural erasure. Technology makes oppression more efficient. In the US, anti-immigrant rhetoric and policies are deeply tied to race, but activism is rising in response. Around the world, racism adapts, sometimes hidden, sometimes blatant. The push and pull between rising intolerance and activism defines our era. Have you noticed this dynamic where you live? The fight is ongoing and the stakes are high. Let's see how people are fighting back. When people have had enough, they fight back. Across the world, ordinary citizens are standing up, refusing to accept injustice as the status quo. Their courage and determination are sparking a wave of resistance that is impossible to ignore. Movements like Black Lives Matter have gone global, sparking conversations and protests from London to Sydney. These demonstrations are not just about one country, they're about a shared demand for equality and dignity, echoing in cities everywhere. Real change is happening. New Zealand is embracing Maori culture, celebrating indigenous heritage and weaving it into the nation's identity. This recognition is a powerful step toward healing and unity. Germany enforces strict anti-hate laws, showing that governments can take a stand against discrimination. These laws send a clear message: hate has no place in society, and social media amplifies marginalized voices, allowing stories and calls for justice to reach millions instantly. Online platforms have become powerful tools for organizing, educating, and holding leaders accountable. Hashtags like Stop Asian Hate and Me Too force institutions to respond, shining a spotlight on issues that were once ignored. These movements empower people to speak out and demand real change. Even as authorities try to silence dissent, the movement for justice grows stronger. Attempts to suppress voices only fuel the determination of those fighting for their rights. True progress requires more than policy. It needs a shift in hearts and minds. Real change happens when communities come together, listen, and learn from one another. Canada's apologies to Indigenous peoples show that reconciliation is about more than money. It's about changing perspectives, acknowledging past wrongs, and building trust for the future. The fight is in the streets and in everyday conversations. It's in the courage to challenge prejudice, and in the willingness to listen and grow. So, what actually works to break down hate? It's the combination of action, awareness, and empathy that truly paves the way for a more just world. Is there a proven way to reduce racism? Yes, and it's called deliberative dialogue. This approach is both powerful and refreshingly simple. It doesn't require fancy technology or years of training, just a willingness to listen and share. Instead of arguing, people from opposing sides share personal stories, building empathy instead of walls. By opening up about their own lives, they invite others to see the world through their eyes, making it harder to hold on to stereotypes or prejudices. This method has helped heal deep divides in Rwanda and Northern Ireland, and it's being used in the US to bridge gaps between police and communities. Across continents, deliberative dialogue has proven that honest conversation can be a catalyst for real change. When people hear each other's lived experiences, stereotypes crumble and understanding grows. It's in these moments of vulnerability and honesty that true connections are formed, and the seeds of compassion are planted. It doesn't solve everything overnight, but it chips away at dehumanization, the engine of racism. Each conversation is a small step toward a more inclusive and accepting world. You can use this tool too. Next time you meet someone with a different view, ask about their story instead of debating. You might be surprised by what you learn and how much you have in common. Listen, don't plan your rebuttal. Give them your full attention and let them know their perspective matters. This small shift can turn confrontation into connection. Even a brief, genuine exchange can plant the seeds of trust and respect. It's not about changing minds, but opening hearts. When we lead with empathy, we create space for understanding and healing. An open heart has no room for prejudice. Together, we can build a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. Where do we go from here? Racism is a global system, but so is the fight against it. Technology can be used for justice. AI audits hiring for bias, blockchain secures fair elections. Education is key. Teaching honest history helps the next generation recognize and challenge injustice. Change comes from both big protests and small daily acts, calling out prejudice, supporting inclusive leaders, and choosing dialogue over division. We're all architects of the future, laying bricks for a world we want to live in. The work is hard, but it matters. Thank you for watching Informed Tourist. Please like and subscribe. What's one small step you'll take this week to challenge prejudice?